So in this video I am showing you how to set up invoice for a lease in the rental collection manager. I come to the lease tabs and here are some lease. I may click on setup invoice. So this is the main important section of this rental collection manager. This has some settings here. You can see invoice tenants, finalize setup, invoice items. This tab, this is for selecting the tenants. Sometime we have two or more tenants involved in one lease. So in that case we may need to select individual invoice for every tenant or single invoice for all tenants. When there is single invoice for all tenants, then when any one of them paid for the invoice, then others no need to pay. Set up single invoice for all tenants when there are multiple tenants. Set up individual invoice for every tenant when you want part payments. Okay, this is for the finalized setup section. Since we have created the lease for one time, so we can only make selection this one-time setup, one-time invoice. In this invoice we cannot perform the performa invoice because one-time invoice can be paid or unpaid. It cannot be a performa invoice. Let's make a invoice as a paid, payment method cash, billing period title. We can set the date, generate bill one time. This is the very important part of this application and it will be helpful when we generate a performa invoice. A performa invoice can be generate bill every week, every month, every year for periodical payments. Invoice date today. We don't need this. Enable. I will explain about this in the next video. Enable utility unit update. Let's select the amount. Rent deposit advance 11,000, electricity bill, garbage collection, security and processing fee. Okay, 14,000 and remaining rent deposit. Remaining 14,000 and I do make submit. My invoice has been created successfully. Okay, and payments also generated. Completed payments completed. From this paid section, paid invoices section, I can see the invoice downloading here. I can download my invoice from this page by clicking this button. Here is my invoice downloaded. Now let's do one more setup invoice. For this invoice I will make change as remaining invoice and unpaid invoice. This is the unpaid invoice, and when a tenant come to this section, then he can pay for this unpaid invoice. Let me sign out from here. So guys, let me come again to the property agent login. I go to the rental collection manager payment section. I can see this payment is pending. I do just click on the update section. I get the details of this payment details, items, rent deposit, remaining amount 40,000, invoice amount 40,000, paid amount 40,000, balance 0, action approve or reject, payment method bank transfer, SBI bank. This is the bank details. The customer has sent me the payment, bank payment details, date of the transaction ID, other details. I can confirm with my bank transactions, and let's update. Thanks for the payment. Great. Yes, the payment is completed. 40,000. Now let's go again the tenant login. I can see the payments is completed 40,000.